y'all, it's Myra. Over the last month or so, I've had several conversations with friends about discipline and structure and discipline. Really, they go hand in hand. This comes up a lot in the practice because tapas is one of the niyamas or internal observations in the yoga philosophy. Tapas can be defined as heat, discipline, or austerity. It's also a term applied to the practices that cultivate heat, discipline, and austerity. In other words, it's the discipline and the structure. In Yoga Sutra 243, Patanjali said that tapas destroys impurities and allows us to achieve accomplishments. In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 17, verse 14, Krishna said, and I quote, "Consider purification, tapas, which literally means to melt, as in refining ore. The purpose of the purification is not pain and penance, but to deliberately refine one's life, to melt it down and recast it into a higher order of purity and spirituality." End quote. Prior to that, in chapter 2, verse 60, he indicated that, and again I quote, "The refinement of an individual or a society is measured by the yardstick of how well greed and desires are controlled." End quote. But let's be honest, I thought about structure and discipline long before I ever practiced yoga. Most people do. As kids, we think about discipline and structure as it's created and instilled by our parents, our grandparents, teachers, coaches, and other elders. It comes back up again as we move through schooling that gets less and less structured as we progress in terms of how we spend our time, but requires more and more discipline in order for us to achieve our goals. After college, a lot of people move into the workplace, which has a very structured environment. I personally ended up working with dancers, musicians, actors, and other performing artists whose careers require a lot of discipline, even though their day-to-day routines are structured in a way that might be considered unconventional. In fact, that's been the story of my adult life. Self-discipline within an unconventional structure. Naturally, over the last couple of years, what with all the structural upheaval that came with the pandemic, a lot of people have been thinking about structure and discipline. Nathaniel Drew has a whole series of videos recreating the routines of famously productive people, some of which I've even contemplated doing over the last year or so. But then I had these recent conversations. Discipline and structure have been at the forefront of my mind. And not long after one of those conversations, I saw an interview where Ryan Holiday was talking about a book he has coming out later this month. It's called Discipline is Destiny, The Power of Self-Control. How serendipitous that I started this series of videos talking about destiny, and here we are talking about discipline. But let me not digress. Like his third book, The Obstacle is the Way, The Timeless Art of Turning Trials into Triumph, which I loved, Ryan Holiday's upcoming book highlights classic Stoics like the Emperor Marcus Aurelius. Of course, I can't help but wonder, based on his previous book, if he also touches on people like Thomas Edison and maybe even some of the folks that Nathaniel Drew profiled. But the book's not out yet. So I can only imagine that he quotes Epictetus, who said, "We should discipline ourselves in small things and from there progress to things of greater value." I don't know if you've noticed it yet, but that's what I've been doing every 9 days.